This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask with your host, Dr. Judith Briles. On the show today, you'll find out where book publishing is going and how to take advantage of it. How to identify and avoid publishing predators. What opportunities are emerging as the book trade evolves in new forms. How to avoid losing money and much, much more. Join us now as a variety of publishing pros will deliver insights and strategies to take the author to the next level of publishing. It's your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. Brought to you by AuthorU and the Book Shepherd. And now, here's your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
All right. Well, guess what? We haven't done a show that's involved what I think is one of the most critical things, which is how you look. And I'm talking about on the stage. I'm not talking about when you walk in the door. I'm talking about how you look on your website, how you look with media information you sent out. I'm talking about what killer photos are you using for your media? Is it something that is, oh my God, don't tell me you're doing this 20 years old? Or are you using something that someone took a quick snap at you at the local barbecue? Rarely do those really say who and what you are. What you need is an author's photographer. So back with me, it's been a few years since I've had Ashlee with us. Ashlee Bratton of Ashography is one of the best, in my opinion, when it comes to putting author photos together that are slick, that click, that tick, that tell a story, that are engaging, and let's say fun at the same time. So with that, she's been a professional photographer for a good decade in owning her own business. She is a freelance writer, and she is a great author. She has, with her book, the 30 by 30 list, that she wrote that's been just really a lot of fun. She also writes for Vail's Eat magazine, which sounds like a good thing to do. And right now, as we talk with her, she's got her camera in hand in southern Colorado. She is a total foodie, which is one of my friends. And you know what she does for fun? She likes to take airplane rides. So what can I say? But here's what we're going to do. We're going to get into what photography is all about. Why do you need someone who's got the eye for authors and books and gets them as both a participant as well as what the public and the professionals need to see to engage you more to the next level? And with that, Ashlee, welcome back to AuthorU, your guide to book publishing.
Oh, thank you, Judith.
So I guess I should ask, what's new in your world? That's kind of like when Obama says, I have been away for 3 months, so wait, anything happening?
I know. What is going on with you? Yeah. Photography, actually. I mean, I know that sounds cliche, but here I am. I'm doing it all over the state of Colorado. I'm actually based in southern Colorado, and I kind of flit between 3 different areas on a regular basis. I tend to float through Denver and then the Vail Valley in this Tri-City tour, and then back down to southern Colorado by the Durango and the South Fork and Wolf Creek area every couple of weeks. So I'm on the road.
Mm-hmm. So, I have a quick question. So before you really became a solopreneur, like so many of us, how did you really learn the craft of photography?
I decided, when I really decided I wanted to do this, I contacted a couple photographers in the area. This is when I was living in California, and I shot as a second photog with 2 different wedding photographers, and I asked myself, I'm like, how can I learn to do this without royally messing up a really important day or a project that you can't redo? The solution was to slave away as an assistant for a couple of years under the 2 different photographers, and I was an extra hand until I was able to get enough shoots and get enough business to kind of support myself. And then the goal was to find the most amazing clients to connect with and to work with them directly. This means that I have been honored to be a part of hundreds of weddings and a part of hundreds of author photos in the author community for over 5 years now, and I love my authors. It's pretty fun.
They are fun. They are fun. And also, you do some wonderful baby shots. I've seen some of those. They're so fun. They're fun. I have to say, one of my favorite shots is the little one on the daddy's shoulder that had the mohawk. I thought that was the best. That was the best. All right, so let's just jump into that. Is there a recurring, off the wall, always amazes you question that you always get before you start a shoot? Yeah.
All the time. I get the top 3 phrases that I always hear are, I am not very photogenic. Do you edit wrinkles and 60 pounds off me?
Photoshop. You're talking Photoshop.
Can you Photoshop me to be X, Y, Z? And then also I can't even remember the last time that I had professional photos. I hate getting my photo taken. Mm-hmm. And that's super fun to hear when you're trying to take someone's photos. But those are real fears, and those are real feelings. We're not usually in front of the camera, and so to have a camera in your face, it's tough stuff. And so, I get the nerves and I get the fears of why people are doing that.
So if our listeners are thinking that, you're right, I hate my photo talk, and you're thinking, and I would like to whack off a few pounds, and could you edit? We need to say, you're not alone. You're not alone in those thoughts.
Everyone wants to present the best possible version of themselves, and the majority of my author clients hire me because they have to. It's sheer necessity. Sometimes I think I'm just a step below a dentist, actually.
I wouldn't say it. I have to tell everyone that a lot of times I'll just say, here, you call Ashlee, you need these photos. I've looked at some of their little photos and I hit, won't do. And as a disclaimer, Ashlee pulled a fascie on me one time because I had been pushing it off too. And it's not that, somehow I do get decent pictures, and I've always felt I've earned my wrinkles. So I've never worried about that. And I would like to whack off a few pounds, but I've never asked a photographer to do that, although, because I didn't know I could. But with that said, Ashlee was in town one day, or she was doing another shoot, and said, I have an extra hour and I'm coming by your house, get ready. And she just dropped in really fast. We had a big party the night before, so we were kind of doing a cleanup. And what was it, 20 minutes, Ashlee? It was really fast.
Yeah, it was quick stuff. Well, you're easy to take pictures of.
Yeah, it was really fast. But we really got some fun pictures that I have loved. I've loved. And I think what's very cool about what Ashlee does is she comes into environment, and we just had, just a few weeks ago, I had a client in from out of town working with me for a few days. And she just said, I'm just coming to your place. And then she said, I'm going to go up to the clubhouse. But they just shot a whole bunch of really fabulous pictures that are being used, and the client is thrilled. But I think a lot of people think so big, and they don't realize how close the camera gets in that it can get rid of all the outside stuff. You don't have to have a perfect setting. You've got the capability of morphing things. Is that right, Ashlee? Is that the way to put it?
Yeah, well, hopefully your photographer has a way to be able to, they've got the eye, and so if you tell them what you're looking for and what your projects are like, and what, be very specific in what you're using your photos for, your photographer should be able to get that photo or several photos that just capture exactly what you need. And my poor clients, I put them in the worst scenarios. I'm like, here, stand by this trash can, and I get the weirdest looks. I'm like, trust me, just trust me. Stand by the trash can, and I promise it won't be in it. So if you can get out of your headspace and because you're not seeing what they're seeing, and so if you can trust them and get out of your headspace to be able to play and to take pictures. The client that you were referring to, I was laughing because I was making her sit on the stairs, and I think we were up at your dining room kitchen table. And,
right.
there's there's cars going by, and then we went to the clubhouse and, stand by this pillar and turn this way, and so you never know what you're going to get. So hopefully you get some good stuff.
You never know. And, to tap onto that, and in a couple of weeks we're going to have on Steve Bass as my guest. He just happens to design the sets for the Tony Awards and the Oscars. And I met him in Las Vegas where I was speaking last week, and where we think of these amazing things, there are so many tricks and tips that they can bring into play, and we're going to incorporate that on how you write that way. But it'll be kind of cool. But just what he was telling us and how he sets up a staging to make it look massive, where it's really very teeny, was awesome. So that'll be cool. All right. So what, we're going to get past the fear factor. And what exactly, when you have someone there, like you were moving someone up the stairs, you were in my dining room, took them for a drive. What all happens during this session?
Well, more than anything, I want to get to know you. I mean, you are what needs to show through on your photos. And so we've got 45 minutes or an hour or however long the session is, and I want to play. And I really want to just take that time and get to know you and just play. If you think about it, I have an hour to get to know you, but your photo is, people look at it for 1.5 seconds, and that photo needs to tell 1,000 words in that, in that just a couple seconds. But yeah, I play. So when I'm not editing in front of a computer screen, it's go time. On a shoot, I always look on a shoot. I'm like a duck in water. That story to where the duck in the river, it's calm and enjoying the water and floating around, but underneath, like, you're paddling like crazy. And so hopefully, it's just, my job is to make you comfortable and to play. And so it's, ask me questions, tease me. I'm going to be teasing you probably and digging around and asking you questions too.
Well, I love it. I love it because I knew who the author was, but she brought her ninja swords to the photo shoot, and and the pictures were fabulous.
I love props. I never know what I'm going to get. Photographers authors, I never know what I'm going to get, because authors are they're the best people. They've got these great stories, and let's see, one time I pulled up at a house, and there were big metal dragon sculptures in the front yard. This was like a suburban neighborhood, and these had these big metal statues, and I loved it. And then another shoot, the client brought ninja swords, and she did this wonderful routine with her ninja swords, and it's just, be you. Like, my biggest thing is be you. Like, bring the things that you love, be in an environment that you're comfortable with, and just be you, because that's the you that people want to see. People want to see authentic pictures that show personality and that show you. Yeah, and which is, I am so opposed to the graduation pose that I see so many times. And with that said, we're going to take a quick break. With me is Ashlee Bratton of ashography.com, and she is just superb in creating the author photo that soars and rocks and rolls for connecting how you want to connect. It's AuthorU, your guide to book publishing.
This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these.
Is there a book in you or another? AuthorU will show you how to create, develop, and publish your book without being hoodwinked. If you already have a book out, You'll find a supportive and brainstorming community that's connected and creative no matter where you live. AuthorU brings in national experts for its book camps and annual author extravaganza held each May. It has regular meetings and delivers webinars for its members on timely topics. Through AuthorU's extensive network, members enjoy exclusive benefits, including significant discounts for a variety of services necessary to publishing. The Resource, its online book publishing news magazine, is content heavy and it's free. If you want to create a book that has pizzazz, punch, and panache, AuthorU is for you. If you're a hobbyist or a casual author, it's not. Join AuthorU today through its website at AuthorU.org. Follow AuthorU on Twitter at AuthorU and on Facebook at AuthorU, where timely author and publishing tips and articles are posted daily. AuthorU, where the author goes to become seriously successful.
Every picture tells a story, and it's a truism that people do judge a book by its cover. Nick Sellinger and NZ Graphics have been in the business of producing superior graphic cover design and interior layout for self-published authors, independent and traditional publishers for years. He has developed a reputation for excellent work, fast turnarounds, and best of all, affordable pricing. NZ Graphics also produces ebooks and book marketing materials such as posters, sell sheets, postcards, bookmarks, business cards, logos, and more. Books designed for his clients have won multiple book awards, including Best Book Award by U.S. Book News, multiple Evie Awards from the Colorado Independent Publishers Association, Indie Book Awards, the San Francisco Book Festival Award, and Freedom Medal Award from Valley Forge. Visit www.nzgraphics.com or call 303-985-4174 for more details about making your book the success it should be. Mention that you are an FOJ, friend of Judith's, and that you heard about NZ Graphics on your guide to book publishing.
One of the most important decisions you will ever make is your choice for printing your book. You are choosing a company which will be responsible for guiding you through the process and printing your book at a level of quality and detail that embraces your personal and creative needs. You want to choose a company that when your book finally arrives, you are delighted and ready to move on to the next level, and one that is customer focused. Choose King Printing Company and Addy Books to be that company that brings you to the next level. Go to kingprinting.com or call 978-458-2345 and ask for Tom Campbell.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. If you want to write and publish a book, if you want to be successful as an author, your guide to book publishing, everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask, is for you. Stay tuned and you'll hear about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
All right, so Ashlee, I've got a few questions for you. Why do authors need good photos?
Well,
okay, there's a $64,000 question. Does that date me or what?
Right. If you're an author, you need to have a photo that is worthy of your book. You need, photos for your bio, for your website, for your promo materials. You're presenting yourself to the world, and you want to be able to do that well. Not just well, you want to rock it. So your professional author photos need to be the best version of the real you. People are waiting to see the person behind the pages. And you have a message, like you're writing for a reason, and you have a message. And your professional author pictures need to help you say that.
It's the bottom line. And I remember one of the photos you took of me, we were playing. You're right, we do play. We were playing around, and I held up one of my favorite books kind of just across my face, and you snapped several shots of it. It turned out to be one of my favorite pictures because it had the glint in my eye. It showed my wrinkles, the crow's feet. But it's all there. And I remember when I was when we were doing a web design, and we were thinking, okay, so what banner do we want to do? And I said, I want this picture on it. And boy, they tried to talk me out of it because it didn't show my full face. I said, but this is me. This is me, because it's the playfulness. I love to play. My God, no one loves to play more than me. But I'm willing to work really hard as long as I can play a little bit. And I think it just totally reflects it. And I've loved that picture. And I insisted, remember, as when you're the solopreneur, you can insist. I insisted that we were going to insert it. And it's, I have had no pushback from anyone that has been up and doesn't show my teeth. But it shows my eyes peeking up over the book cover.
Well, one of my favorite photos that we got when we were doing your session, I think we went down to your radio studio, and you were doing like a pretend session because I wanted to get shots of you in front of the mic and the headset and that kind of thing. And so we were doing that. And I think I forget what I asked you. I think I said something like, what do you want to say? Like, what would you say to your worst client? And you just started, it was just so fun because you started going off. And the giggle and the smile, and I've got the photo of you throwing your head back. And I think there may have been some curse words. I'm not sure, but it was pretty good. Again, the whole point, I just had so much fun on that shoot, because the whole point is just to be you. And if you need to throw some curse words out, do it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was the one where I was holding also my cup, the crazy book lady. Oh, well. Yes. So, there is something for everyone, I think, is what we're needing. So you do need good photos. So think about your author bio. Think about your author page. Think about your website. Think about your blog. Think about any promo material. And I think that what you've got the capability here, when you've got someone who is creative like Ashlee is that you can integrate multiple images. I mean, I think I had several pairs of earrings and a couple of different shirts I switched in and out of, Ashlee, during this time, that you can do just a quick change. So you have a different energy, a different feel, a different look, but you can just integrate that all throughout what you do. And that's, that's really critical, especially since 80% of the population is visual. So they want to see different takes in what you're doing.
We're a visual community. People want to see all sides of you. And so hopefully at your photo shoot, you'll bring, I fully recommend to bring outfits. If you're a business book, you definitely want to have that business look for some of your photos, but also, bring something else, a couple shirts that you just feel really good in, because we want to get those different shots from those laughy shots, so we're not getting that graduation photo. Bring your ninja swords.
Your ninja sword, and for guys, you can do your suit and tie, but you know what? Take it off too.
Take it off.
And loosen the collar. Take it all off. But, All right. So how do we get a good photo?
That is a loaded question.
I know. I know.
Loaded question. How to get the first thing is you have to book your session. So you can't get a good picture if you don't book that appointment. So get it on the calendar, book a session, and go from there. And so I think, honestly, that can be the hardest part, is actually biting the bullet and booking your session. I guess a question for you would be, when do you recommend in the publishing process and in the publishing timeline to be able to have those photos at your disposal? Earlier in the process, later in the process, because I've had clients call and they're like, I'm in layout and I'm going to print in a week and a half, and trying to get on the calendar and get things edited is tough. And so at what point in the process do people need to be armed and ready with their photos?
Well, I think, it depends on where we are, that's for sure. And that ideally, I think the sooner the better, but I recognize, especially with women, I'm going to lose 10 more pounds, right? And I
can take off. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, she can take that off. But I just don't think you need to worry about that, because that there's always fluctuation. and positionings of what you can do and all that. So I think it's really important to really time this so that the sooner the better, but I do want them relaxed. I don't want them frantic. And I know a lot of times you feel real frantic, but it is a relaxing time. And a lot of times, if Ashlee's in my neighborhood, that we try to let people know and then she can swing by and do something very quickly. And it's just, men don't worry about their hair. Women worry about their hair. I get that. It's that. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back, and we're going to get into this just a little bit more. It's AuthorU, your guide to book publishing. With me is Ashlee Bratton of ashography.com, and what we're talking about is putting your best pick forward.
This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these.
Since 1987, Color House Graphics has set the standard for quality book production. Whether you decide to print a small quantity of books or need a large print run, depend on Color House to help you. You'll receive professional help and advice the moment you reach one of our representatives. If you mention hearing about us on your guide to book publishing with Judith Briles, we will provide you a discount on the first order you place. To speak with a project manager, call us toll-free at 800-454-1916 or visit us at www.colorhousegraphics.com.
Want to publish like a pro today? Well, then take a look at Ingram Spark, the only publishing platform that offers print and ebook services through a single source. Upload, edit, and manage titles all in one place. Take more control of printing costs with print on demand, and reach even more readers through one of the world's most extensive distribution networks. Built by independent publishers for independent publishers, Ingram Spark has everything you need to maximize your book's potential: color printing, ebook distribution, print on demand, global reach, and more. Start publishing with Ingram Spark today and see just how far your titles will go tomorrow. That's ingramspark.com.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. Coming up, you'll hear more about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
All right. So with that said, Ashlee, let's come back to that. How do they really mentally set up for it?
Do your research on finding a photographer that not only you can, do you like their work and their artistic style, but you feel comfortable with them. Photography, it's an investment, just like you're investing in editing, which is a very important part. You want to find a photographer that matches your style, if you will, the style of what genre you're in, if you're horror, if you're a business book, if you're a kids author, because some photographers, they'll edit dark and moody, and some are light and airy, and some are more lifestyle shots, and some edit crisp and clear while others fuzz things up. And so you want to be able to research a little bit on style and be able to find someone that kind of gels with the look and feel that you're going for. So my recommendation is make sure you do your research, and someone who knows the publishing industry, that knows the type of photos, that knows books. I think that's a really important part of the process too. Is you getting a baby photographer that only shoots babies may not be the best fit for a business book. If that's what find someone that fits what you're doing for what your project is.
All right. So with that said, that if you've got an editor who's dark, I guess what you need to do is see some of their work so you can get what kind of edge they have.
Yeah,
that would be the smart thing to do. Go to their website, and I guess I would also show me some pictures, sample pictures of other authors you have done.
Oh, yeah, you want to make sure that you're not their first shoot.
No, no guinea pigs here. This is not when you want to guinea pig yourself on that.
Do not be the guinea pig. Just like anything in this world, you get what you pay for. And so if you are, if you're having your friend's best friend, daughter in college, shoot your picture for the first time, then, just be prepared that is probably what you're going to get. But more than anything, I guess, on how to get a good photo during your shoot and even before your shoot, tell your photographer about you. Tell them about your project. Tell them, what's the title, what's the genre, why are you writing this book? Who is it for? Are you using these photos for your blog and website? Which, yes, you should be doing. What do you hate most about yourself in photos? I want to know if you're sensitive about your double chin, or if you've got a weird eyebrow. That I think is gorgeous and I might love, but you're going to see your photos and you're going to hate it. So tell me what it is that you don't like, and then tell me what it is that you love about yourself in photos. I love my eyes, or I like my left side, or my hair is phenomenal. Tell me what you like about you. Tell me about your kids and your family. I want to know who you are, because that needs to come forward in your photos.
So what if you, it's about trust, really. All this is about trust, correct?
Yeah. Trust your photog. And it's, again, nerves come into play when you're on your shoot, and I totally get that, and that's fine. But your photographer is, they've invested in equipment, they've invested in classes, experience. They hopefully, have an actual business that this is what they do, and they want to bring the best photos to you, and they should be an expert in the craft. And they want to give you pics that make you light up. But you've got to trust them to be able to do that. And so when I ask you to stand next to a trash can, or to trust them, I'm not going to make you look dumb. I don't want to do that. But once you've booked and you've shown up, trust and let your photographer do the magic, because they can work the magic. It's great. You're the expert of your craft. Hopefully they're the expert in theirs, and
they better be.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So you have no idea what your photographer sees, and what they're an artist. We want to play, and we want to play with you. And so let them do their job, and if they know about you and what you're going for and the look that you're going for, they're going to bring it, and it's going to be great. Get your photos done. Just do it.
And so number one, just do it, and bring your props. Bring your props, or anything on that. So it's about, tell them about you. It's about, I think what you need to do is also let them know what the primary purpose of the shoot is. Would you not agree?
Absolutely. They need to know, if you're booking it for family photos, they need to know that. If you're booking it for your book, they need to know about your book. And if you have ulterior motives for for your photos, go ahead and tell your photographer, hey, I'm getting these professional photos done, and I also am going on a dating website, so if you have 30 seconds, can we get some really cute photos for my dating profile? I've had people do that too. So make sure you tell your photographer why you need your photos. So just do it.
So dating, I hadn't thought about that. Well, that's not my option, but I hadn't thought about doing dating photos.
Dating photos, yeah, that's fun. You have no idea the power of a good photo on a dating profile.
Okay, so we can think about that. All right, so let's talk about some cost, Ashlee. What's the cost running in these areas? I suspect that you can do it from the Kmart blue light special up to unbelievable things.
Oh yeah, there's such a wide range when it comes to photography. So there are some photographers I know that they don't even go to shoot for less than $700. There's other photographers that, the best friend's daughter that is doing a project will do it for free. But again, you're getting what you pay for. But on average, a good photo shoot that is anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour is probably a couple $100. So in the grand scheme of things, budget it out. If you're doing more, like if you need studio lighting, if you need that kind of thing, it's probably going to be a little bit more. But it's so worth it. It is so worth it. This is an investment, just like an editor for your book. You absolutely have to have it. Like those typos will tank your book so fast, and bad photos will tank your book so fast. It's just photos. Who thought that photos were so important? But they really are. So yeah.
Well, bad photos, just like some stuff can date your book. A bad photo can really date your book too.
Yeah, I'm sure you have horror stories with that. What's a horror story that you have on a book that has gone wrong?
Well, you mean from the editing side or from, when authors don't listen, we certainly have things that they get sidetracked. I've got what we called the $15,000 error, and that her husband got involved in it saying, oh, no, we can use our marketing guy, our brochure guy. He does great corporate brochures. It'll be just great. And there's a big difference between a book layout and a corporate brochure. And then he said, but we've got great printers. They do great printing, great cost, great fill in the blank. And then by the time that was done, the great printing job, which all they had done was corporate reports, which are different from books, and they're also on glossy. It was a disaster. And, I just kind of threw up my hands. And there's nothing more I could do at that point. And, it happens. And you just you have to just let it go. And then, of course, I used it as an example of what not to do.
What not to do. Hey, that can be a whole show in and of itself, what not to do.
You're right.
Yeah, there's horror stories with, copyright, authors not having, knowing what they're getting in their photo package. So when you're booking your session and you want to ask questions about your photo package, like, how long will the shoot take? Is it an indoor studio or an outdoor session? Who's responsible for the hair and makeup? What is actually in the contract? Like, what kind of files are you getting? Are you getting the digital files? Do you have rights to do reprints? Does the photographer know that it's being used for a book, so you're not getting back charged on the back end for for printing rights? Does the editing timeline for the photographer work with the timelines that you need for your session and for your publishing timeline? To ask.
So once we do the shoot, then what happens? And you know what? Let's take another break here, and come back so we can touch base on that. And just because I think that people do need to understand what the time lapses are here. It's not that you do the photo shoot and voila, you will have in email in 30 minutes everything. So I want you to walk you through the process of once you're done, then what do you do in your studio? And with that, we'll take a quick break. It's AuthorU, your guide to book publishing.
This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these.
The book shepherding concept is simple. The publishing world is changing, and so must you. You need an experienced shepherd and a guide to partner with you as you create, strategize, develop, publish, and achieve your publishing goals. You can't do it alone without paying the price. You can spend your money creating a book that turns out to be so-so, or you can create a book that looks and feels classy, builds your brand, and is a financial success, a bestseller. It's your choice. You choose. You need the Book Shepherd. Publishing is riddled with obstacles, sometimes nightmares for the author. You don't need problems, you want solutions. Dr. Judith Briles will shepherd you through the maze and the chaos. At times, she's had to step in and rescue a book that has been sabotaged by a publisher, or by a publishing service provider, or sometimes even the author themselves. Judith Briles is the Book Shepherd if you want to create a book with no regrets. Give her a call today, 303-885-2207. That's 303-885-2207, or email her at judith@briles.com. By the way, Briles is spelled B-R-I-L-E-S. Follow Judith on Twitter at My Book Shepherd and on Facebook at The Book Shepherd.
At Total Printing Systems, customer service is our priority. We are located in Southern Illinois. Our employees have an average of 18 years experience and know that customer relationships are important to our continued success. We have been a short-run book printer for nearly 40 years and always stay at the forefront of technology. Our niche is from 1 to 5,000 copies. Today, we offer digital, black and white, and 4-color high-speed inkjet printing, a cost-effective way to introduce color into your short-run titles. We, of course, offer traditional offset printing as well. Bindery is done in-house, from adhesive case binding to PUR perfect binding to mechanical binding of all types, including side sewing. We provide warehousing, kitting, distribution, inventory management, a new print-on-demand facility, streaming browser-based ebooks, and bookstore. Call us at 1-800-465-5200 for a quote on your next book project. You can also visit our website at www.tps1.com.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. If you want to write and publish a book, if you want to be successful as an author, your guide to book publishing, everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask, is for you. Stay tuned and you'll hear about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
All right, so the shoot's done. The shoot's done, and you can hardly wait to see what it looks like. So, Ashlee, what happens now?
Oh, we all want our photos like yesterday.
Exactly.
And in an era where photos, are taken on our cell phones and that kind of thing, we're used to instant photos, and that is not the world of your professional photos. And so on my end, once the shoot is done and we've done your session and you go home, then the work begins. And so on my end, to be technical, the files are taken in a certain format called RAW, and it takes special software to be able to turn those. It's to turn those photos into actual files that you would need to be able to use for your projects. And so just like a recipe, and you're throwing all the different ingredients in, and then eventually the final product comes out and it's wonderful and yummy and you get to enjoy it. It takes a little time to be able to do that, and so on the back end there is hours and hours of editing, especially if you want those pounds to come off and you want those wrinkles to come out, and that kind of thing. And each and every photo is going to get special editing time. So unlike photos for an event where there's batch editing, when it comes to your author photos where you're getting, anywhere, depending on your package, if you're getting 5 files or 30 files or whatever it is, every single photo is going through an intense editing process. And, to work on lighting, to work on, who knows what that's needed. So it's important to be able to give your photographer a timeline. I try and turn photos around between 1 to 2 weeks, and I try and give that expectation to clients. So it's, in my world, I'd love to be, I try and turn around, some top favorite sneak peeks within 48 hours, so you kind of get a look and feel of what you're going to get. But to get the whole batch of photos, it takes a little bit of time, usually a week to 2 weeks, to get those turned around. So you need to build that into your publishing timelines. for what you need. And if there is for some reason a rush job, definitely make sure that you are communicating that to your photographer, because the last thing that I want to hear is a panicked phone call that you're missing your deadline because we had the photo shoot today and you needed the pictures in 24 hours. And so
oh my God, that's the kiss of death. Pretty much.
Awful. Everyone is stressed out at that, and no one wants that. It's painful. So ask lots of questions. Ask lots of questions about what you're getting in your photo package, and know what you're getting, because that knowledge is power. And you need they're your photos, and you need the right to know to what you're getting. No surprises.
So what about use of photos? What about reuse? Or let's say I have a mug I want to put my picture on. Can I do that? I just thought I'd ask.
If you're getting one of my packages, you can.
So authors want to put pictures, T-shirts, or they want to do other promo things or bookmarks in the site. And I've come across packages that it's for this use only. Mm-hmm. And anything else, I have to get paid more money.
Yep. Look at your contract, and that's very normal. That's not abnormal in the photography industry. That's just how it goes. But so that's actually kind of how, Judith, you and I became partners and we got connected, is because going to the conferences and seeing, and being an author myself, and seeing the need for, there's a very specific need for, and a very specific type of photos that are needed for book publishing, and you want to be able to get those, get the rights, be able to use them for whatever it is you need to use them for. And so that's why we developed special packages to be able to address those specific needs and kind of wash out all the junk from the regular photography industry standards that come with, all the back pay and how many times you can use it and that kind of thing. And so for me personally, I don't want to hold your pictures hostage. They're your pictures, they're your photos. So once you get them, you get the digital copy, the actual digital files. You can use them for what you need to, and it's in the contract. I won't be coming after you for anything, and it's also in my personal contract that I can be able to use them for my promo purposes, and it's also in my contract to be able to once your book comes out, to send me a copy of your book, because I want to put you on my author shelf. I love being a part of a finished product, and I love being a part of people's projects. And so that is a gift to your photographer that you can give them that means a lot, because that means that you're using their art, and you're using their talent and their skills. And who doesn't like to see that in someone's finished work? Because collaborative projects are pretty amazing.
Which makes it very cool on that. And I'll tell from one of the shoots that we did 2 years ago, and I know we should. Now the thing is, then Ashley's going to hound you for doing an update, because it does make sense, by the way, because we do change. Yeah. But we did a shoot, and and I've moved my offices too. And in my office at that time, I had all these files, and above all my files, I had all these frames of my book covers that I would include encourage all of you to do is once you start creating books, and you cover it, clip one of them and frame it, and you'll start kind of a wall of fame, a love you wall, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, so we were in front of it, and I just had my arm up, I think, across it, and Ashlee shot a couple of photos. Well, you never know when a repurpose is going to happen. And when I was creating my author one sheet, and I created a whole new, which I really love, an author one sheet. In what was it? March, I created it, and that I sent over that one picture that Ashlee did of me, and the graphic artist says, "Hey, what do you think if we take this picture, and instead of having your arm resting across the file cabinet with all of your photos behind you, we'll dump all the photos behind you, but what if we put the frames, the book covers, what if we took you with your arm across, we dropped the file cabinets and all that, and we put a bookshelf underneath your arm, like a bookshelf, of a lot of the books that you have helped authors work on. And that was the starting of that. And people thought, oh, when did you do this? Well, it was a combination of what Ashlee did and then what Annie put together, and we created a whole new scene. So we did a kind of a cut and paste, Ashlee.
Mm-hmm.
And did you see this? Did you see the finished one sheet?
Oh, yeah. They look great. Every author should have a one sheet.
I think so, too. I think so, too. All right. So in this last segment, let's do a recap of what we can do. That, number one, you don't need to lose weight. Don't worry about your wrinkles. And don't worry that you don't think you're non-photogenic. You know, that a good photographer can do magic. Would that be a good summary?
Yes. Give me your wrinkles, your moods, your insecurities. I want it all.
There you go. All right. All right. So all wrinkles, all pounds, and all moods are welcome. So we can do that. So secondly, that you don't need to worry about it. It's when you're thinking about a photo shoot that really creates something that's going to be multi-use. It is an investment, but you're just really dealing with a few $100s. Would that also be correct?
Yeah. A base package should be anywhere between, probably $300 to $600, depending on what it is that you need to do.
Mm-hmm. All right, so there you go. But it is an investment, and it's part of you. That goes into your marketing budget, by the way. Even though you're going to use it on your book, you'll use it on your website. You're going to be you're going to be able to have some photos, both black and white and color, that you will create for your media page on your website. Of course, you're going to do one, correct, everybody? So you have those variables, and these are going to be high resolution. Mm-hmm. So we're talking everything is going to be high resolution for that. So this is the plus of doing it. But I think the bottom line is that you do need to have something besides the backyard pic. And I will confess to all of you, one of my favorite photos, my daughter just took a casual photo. We were on a cruise. She said, "Hey Mom," I looked back and she took a picture, and there were several, and I thought, I could use this for speaking. I can get away with this. And until Ashlee started bugging me. But it was, I would just say good enough. And it did serve its purpose, and then what we did is we took it from there. But you do want to get away from the graduate look and the business for the guys. Your business with only the tie and the suit. That's not going to be the warm, friendly, fuzzy, I think, that you want to attract with the bulk of your audiences. At least that's my 2 bits.
Agreed.
So, all right. So what we've got to do is you need photo shoots, get a session booked. If you want more information, I'm going to encourage you to go to Ashlee's website, Ashography, ASHOGRAPHY.com, and check it out. Check out her one sheet. It's quite attractive. And you can see what to do. And, and I have to tell you, a bias, I had the pleasure of working with Ashlee on her book. Her 30 by 30 book, and that it really did make a difference because she used lots of photos throughout it. And Ashlee also did a very successful crowdfunding program, and she was the epitome. If you want to see what her crowdfunding program for her book was like, go to Kickstarter.com and look up ASHLEE Bratton, Bratton, and you can really see how a campaign rolled out. And she used extensive images throughout it, which is what attracts people. And Ashlee, anything else you want to say? We've got about 30 seconds here.
Oh, just be you. Get your photos done, be you, and have a wonderful time in the book publishing process. You have earned it.
Well, there you go, everybody. So do everything you can for this. And it's part of your success quotient, but create an author photo gallery so that you can pick and choose that goes along with your mood as well, which I think is a good idea. That's why you want, for women, different earrings, different, colors that work for you, that tie it in. And here's one other thing. For your book cover, if you're going with a certain branding or a certain color, make sure that you have this kind of color within your photo, that it'll pick it up. It makes all the difference in the world. So, with that said, thank you, Ashlee Bratton, for being with me today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, everyone, have a great week. Just a reminder, this is the last week to get the early bird special for Judith Briles Book Publishing Unplugged in June 22nd and 24th. Prices are going to jump up $150 next week. Take care. Happy writing. Happy publishing.
Thank you for being a part of Your Guide to Book Publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. Each week, a variety of publishing pros will deliver insights and strategies to take you, the author, to the next level. You'll learn tips and secrets on how to create, strategize, develop, publish, and achieve book publishing success by making one very simple change in your book's journey. How to avoid the publishing predators. How to create an author and book platform that rocks. Learn how to make a living with your words and your books. Learn how to publish a book that has no regrets, and so much more. For more information, check out AuthorU.org, where authors who want to be seriously successful go. And Judith's website, thebookshepherd.com. Then join us again here next week for more. It's Your Guide to Book Publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. Brought to you by AuthorU and the Book Shepherd. Thursday evenings at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific,